Hello, this is my July One Simple Thing video, and if you're one of my email subscribers, sorry, I am 3 hours late in doing this. I thought I was going to try to do it at 1:30, but it's now 4:30, so better late than never. I've also just had some issues with my computer, so I'm using my phone for the first time, so I hope it works for this video. So each month this year, I've been sharing just one idea, a simple thing that you can try to help your family just be a little happier and more connected. And so I've shared one Facebook Live video and a blog post each month starting on January 1st. And I'll put a link in the comments to all the previous posts so you can see what those are and the different topics that I've covered. But I'm trying to focus on, well, first of all, if you don't know me, my name is Audrey Monkey, and I've been a summer camp director for more than 30 years. And over those years, I've worked with a lot of children, the young adult counselors, and then parents too. And I've always been focused on researching and finding ways to help either the cabin groups at camp or families just get connected better and have more fun together and be happier. So that's been my focus at camp, and then I've translated that and used it in my own family. I have 5 kids. They're currently ages 14 to 24. So a lot of the ideas that I learned about at camp, I used and have tried in my own family as well. So this one that I want to talk to you about today is really on the top of my mind because I've had a couple of really great workshop sessions with some of our older campers this week. So yesterday I did a workshop with our junior counselors, and they are 16 and 17-year-olds. A lot of them are going into their senior year of high school. And I had them do the VIA Strengths Survey before they got to camp. And that's it's basically a strength survey that you can take, and it identifies what they call your signature strengths. And it was really a fun activity. When we did it together yesterday, I first asked them to identify a strength that they found in each other. So they each wrote down on a sticky note one strength that they've already seen in each other just during this first week that they've been together at camp. And then I also had their parents fill out just a really brief survey saying what they felt were their child's strengths. So I asked parents to identify 5 strengths from the list of 24 VIA strengths. And so the kids had the data, they had the sticky notes from their peers, their other junior counselors, about what other people saw as strengths of theirs. They had the information from their parents, along with some of the parents gave really great comments about what specifically, like why they saw that strength in their child, and they shared a story about it. That was really cool. And then what I had the kids do is I had them spend some time in smaller groups thinking about just one strength that they really feel that they have strongly, and telling a story about how they've used that strength before, and then also talking about how they plan to use that strength in the future. And it was really great. Some of the kids came up with and shared really great stories about either just events that had happened with friends or challenges that they've faced and how they used one of their personality traits or strengths to overcome that challenge. So it was a really great exercise. They all really enjoyed it a lot. They also liked just talking about the fact that none of us is, perfect at everything or great at everything. And they really enjoyed the discussion. So that concept of focusing on strengths, I think, can really be in families too. So one of the ways you can use this, if you don't want to do the whole survey, which especially if you have younger kids, it's probably not applicable. Although if you have, I think the survey that I use says ages 11 and up. So if you have kids or teenagers who are 11 and up, VIA has a youth survey, and I'll put links to everything in this week's blog post that will also be about this same topic. But so as a family, you could all take the VIA survey, or there's some other really great personality surveys out there. The Enneagram has some really fun and useful resources. And anyway, I just really like this concept because when you as a family start seeing each other's strengths and talking about strengths, it really makes everybody feel happier when we focus more on the things that we're good at, that we're doing well, the qualities that other people are seeing in us. It just raises everybody's happiness level a lot. So following my event with the junior counselors yesterday, which was more of a formal training and they had done the survey ahead of time, I did something different today. This morning, along with a couple of other counselors, I met with just our oldest girls, and they are going into 9th grade or 10th grade. They're going into high school, or they're in their second year of high school. And we had them do an activity where they thought about their own inner strengths. So we talked about the importance of focusing not just on, exterior appearance, kind of more superficial things, but more on character traits and inner strengths. And so as a group, they were seated at round tables in their cabin groups. And first they spent some time just on their own writing about their inner strengths. And then they went around the table and each of them started by saying, one thing I like about myself is, and they shared about one of their inner strengths. And that's, that feels like an awkward activity at first, but they all really enjoyed it. And it was great because they could give each other some reinforcement for the traits that they were talking about. So it was another strengths activity that honestly can just be done as a family too. And it can just be done in any way of just talking about, what you like. So if that seems too awkward to have everyone in your family go around and say, one thing I really like about myself is, and then share a character trait. I also found this really cool thing that is kind of focused on more finding kind of a lot of the clues to your strengths are often in what you enjoy doing. A few months ago, I talked about finding your kind of authentic self, what you really enjoy doing, and going back to that, because that's a really good way to regain happiness. And I've been reading, so Anna Hamoyan, who's I interviewed for my podcast that's coming up next week. I actually interviewed her about her book, Social Media Wellness, but we ended up talking about this book, and I got it, and I've really been enjoying it and reading it for the working with the girls at camp this summer. And there's an activity in here that I think could be really fun for a family too. And it's not necessarily about strengths, but it's about kind of what makes you, what's enjoyable for you. And I feel like one of the things that's happened in families is both parents and kids, we've gotten so busy with our scheduled kind of commitments that we don't have as much time for just kind of pleasure, enjoyment, hobbies, or even reflecting on what we like. So today when I was talking to the girls at camp, I said, really use this time while you're unplugged and just out here in nature and with friends. Use this time to think about and reflect on what you really enjoy, who you are, and all that good stuff. So this activity that's in The Myth of the Perfect Girl, it's called the Game of Threes. And what you do, and this is, I think anyone could do this in their family, and I'll take a picture of it and I'll put it with the this post so you can see it. But basically all you do, and if you have younger kids, you could just interview them and write it down for them. But the first column, you write 3 things that it's just, the title is Things I Enjoy Doing. And so you each just list things that you enjoy doing. The second column is things I want to do more. And the third column is things I would like to try. And it's just called the Game of Threes. So again, I'll put a picture of it with the post and just kind of link to this book, The Myth of the Perfect Girl, that's on there. And I think it's such a great family activity and something that we're going to do at camp too with our cabin groups, because it's, again, just another way to think about what you enjoy, what you're good at, and it'll help campers and kids and in our families too just be a little more aware of who we are and what we enjoy doing. And I think summer, just in general, whether you're at camp or just home with your family, usually we have a little bit more time to just reflect. And I think that's my kind of encouragement for this month, is just to take this time this summer, and hopefully especially if you have any vacation or just time relaxing as a family, to think about your strengths, what you really enjoy, where you each find your individual happiness. And that's something then as a family, you might find things that overlap that you all really enjoy. So maybe you can plan to do more of that. Or it might just be that you're helping your kids and yourself get back in touch with what it is you enjoy doing. So anyway, that's my July one simple thing One Simple Thing Challenge. And I appreciate you watching. I know most of you will be watching this later. Maria, I appreciate you joining me. You must be pretty busy, so that's great that you happen to be here live. I'm on my phone, so I can't see any comments or anything, but I'm going to go back to my computer after this, and I'm going to add the links to some of the different posts and books that I was talking about, and to that VIA strength survey that I was talking about in the beginning of the video. So thanks for joining me. Have a great July, and I'll be back in August with another simple tip for families.